So my freshman year of college has already ended, just as quickly as it begun. It was extremely short, so let's get started with spring quarter, how that went. You think I wouldn't have that much to talk about since it went so fast, but I do! So, the four classes I took was Geology 101, Linguistics 210, Computer Science something, and the Art of Listening to Music. Well, I got 2 A's and 2 B's this quarter, in classes that I had very little to no prior knowledge in. How did I do that, you may ask? Well, I tried really hard. Well, except for linguistics, when the teacher had phoned it in to the point where even the final was an online multiple choice quiz, which I didn't really have a problem with, because if that's gonna be the case, then I'll just phone that in too. When people ask me, what did you even learn in that class? And I'm like, I don't know, linguistic-y stuff. From my very limited and pathetic knowledge of the subject, linguistics is split up into a whole lot of subcategories. Stuff like, social linguistics, how language is acquired, the history of languages, phonetics, etc., etc. Instead of covering a limited amount of linguistics topics very thoroughly, our professor just kind of glossed over all of them by just showing us cheesy 80s and 90s documentaries and just mumbling about them for filler, and yet still releasing us from class an average of 20 minutes early. So I didn't really learn anything in that class. And as the class went on, only about 10% of the original roster even bothered to show up. So here's how I got decent scores without really caring or putting that much effort into it. This could be a technique that you could use later. So what he would do is that he would put up quizzes for every chapter, which we could do at any time, and then he had a couple of tests that we had 24 hours to do and covered 2 to 3 chapters. So after figuring out, after taking the first test and bombing it, that the guy recycles questions from the quiz and word for word and puts them into the actual test, I would a day or two before the test take all of the chapter quizzes that were covered and copy down all the right answers, and then boom, got half the answers for the test already. The rest I can just look up the answers in the book or in a Google search. And he would even have a little warning just at the top of the quiz, don't use your notes. And I'm like, you have no power here. But a class I did quite surprisingly care about was the computer science class, which is weird because I'm the kind of person who wouldn't be good at that kind of thing. All we really learned in that class was HTML and CSS, and that was so much fun. I felt so powerful to be like, hey, yo, computer, make this text Arial Sans Serif, please. And it would do it for me, for the most part. It was awesome. So yeah, totally a subject that I didn't think I would be into, and I'm totally into. So I'm gonna try to take the next level up next quarter, except I'm on the wait list, so I guess I'm not doing what I want to do. That's fine. These freaking wait lists, I hate them. I hate the wait lists. It's the worst. And another class that I guess I had to care about was the geology class, which I had no prior experience in, none. So it was hard because I got my rocks mixed up. I can never get my rocks down. It's okay, how are we supposed to tell the difference between non-foliated metamorphic rocks and sedimentary rocks? It's B to the S. It's not great. I only got a B because I did an extra credit project on the Zion National Park because cross-bedding's neat, I guess. And he's like, have you ever been there? And I'm like, no. And he's like, you should go there. I'm like, well, okay. So the last class was the Art of Listening to Music, and that was really fun because it was a morning class, and she would turn off the lights, and then she would play really calming classical music, and then I would fall asleep, and it'd just be a good time for everyone. So enough about classes. The other things that I did was that I went to Canada to drink legally. Yeah, that was super fun because we live super close to Canada, so why not just take a day trip there and then get some drinks and be all legal about it and be like, hey, look at me with my drink, I'm so mature. So then we went to a gaming bar which have all video game themed food and drinks, and it was the best thing ever. And the drinks that I got was a Nuka-Cola Quantum, portal shots, one was green, one was blue, a fairy fountain, and a broken down Mario Kart. I might have gotten a little buzzed, I don't know. Another thing that I did was that Really for Life happened, and then I was the captain for it, and it was really fun. I walked 11 miles in 24 hours with 3 hours of sleep. That was really fun. I wasn't planning to sleep at all, but it was around like 4 a.m. And then the other team captain and her friend was like, you should go to bed. And I'm like, what? They made me go to bed, which I was like, okay, whatever. And then I like conked the heck out. And then our team raised over $1,000, which was really awesome. I think we had the best team name out of all of them. Our team name was Breaking Band. It's funny because Breaking Bad and Breaking Band sound similar, and you know, Walter White has cancer. Okay, that's enough of that. So other than that, it was a really awesome quarter, and the end of the year was great. I mean, me and my roommate ended on good terms, and I got to hang out with my friends a whole bunch before they have to leave. And the end of this year, it didn't really feel like the end of the year. It felt more like the end of like high school, because all of the friends that I made around my dorm, they're not going to be there next year. So I don't know how easy it's going to be to see them again, which is really sad. But I'm sure it'll work out. I don't even have half of their numbers. I should really ask people's numbers nowadays. Oh well. Oh yeah, and I opened an online store, so you should check that out on Store Envy. Just click that link if I know how to do that. If not, it's below. And next video is a tutorial probably. So let's do that. Alright, bye!